Well, look who we have here. It's the beautiful, wonderful people of the Shield Wall Nation. I knew you guys will be here. And this is your daily report. So let's get into this. So let's start off with the Cook political report. It says a firm that tracks the electoral races, Senator Lindsey Graham, is facing an increasingly close race with progressive challenger Jamie Harrison. Cook recently revised her outlook for Lindsey's seat from likely Republican to lean Republican. So a little bit of a Senate race, Senate majority race going on there. So that we can kind of understand what else is going around other than the presidential election going. There's other things going that we don't see because we're so focused on one thing, we don't see the bigger picture, right? So there's a little bit right there. It says for several years, some liberal geopolitical analysts have warned that President Trump might start a war with Iran to bolster his re-election chances as a wartime president. One of them, being Bob Dreyfus, is warning that war with Iran might be the October surprise that pushes moderates into supporting Trump's re-election. So that can also happen. It says it originates, this October's surprise originates from 1980, the Carter-Reagan race, in which both campaigns were formulating action on Iran. Dreyfus is correct that a covert war is being waged between the expanding U.S., Israeli, Arab Gulf states alliances and Iran. He currently concludes by saying the possibility cannot be ruled out. I mean, this is smart. You shouldn't rule out any possibilities, right? You always should have the list, ABCD, of what can happen. And prepare for that, right? Prepare. Let's talk about our dollar. Let's see. Economist Mohammed El-Erian points out that the weakening dollar has been a short-term positive for the U.S. economy, as imports get cheaper and U.S. exports become more affordable for foreign countries. But he warns of the long-term implications, writing, "The worry is that the dollar depreciation will further erode the currency's global status. The more the dollar's credibility is eroded, the more U.S. is at risk losing the exorbitant privilege that becomes J.P. Morgan, that comes with issuing the world's main reserve currency." So we need to somehow figure it out, right? Good thing short term. They're correct. It is good short term, but we need to turn that around and make that into a positive sooner than later. If not, we're just gonna crumble. And once again, prepare, right? We should prepare for that. And once again, our friends of the neighborhood, the ones we love the most, NFAC, is to return to Louisville, Kentucky. The reason, well, this is to follow up their initial July rally. The NFAC is demanding more expedient action in the investigation and prosecution of Breonna Taylor's alleged killers. So they want to expedite it. They can't expedite it. There's still evidence out there. There's still footage. You still need to look through it. You still have to wait trial because guess what? There's other people in this world that is waiting for trial too. It's not like this whole trial, this whole case is the only thing going on in Louisville. But apparently in their world, what they say and how they feel is more important than reality. So, NFAC's leader, Grandmaster Jay, intends to have a negative influence on the Kentucky Derby, which was rescheduled for 5 September. Jay said, if you want to send a message, sometimes you don't burn down the city, you burn down their wallets. Okay. Apparently, their income comes from racing. Not additional income, but their actual income. So they don't get the races for one day. They'll go next day. Whatever. Well, in my opinion, why he's doing this so he can gain some legitimacy in his failed farce of an event that happened in July at Louisville, where the individual passed out, whatever, and negligently discharged his shotgun, injuring 3 people. He needs to regain some sort of positive look on NFAC. So he attempted, as you saw videos across the internet, he attempted to show what it looks like when a shotgun misfires in a negligent discharge. But he showed it on AR. And what he showed was gross misinformation. Misinformation. Showing once again how untrained he is. And he's trying to train his people incorrectly. So please, NFAC members or wannabe NFAC members, do not listen to his advice. Plain and simple. Go and look at other videos online. Don't listen to Grandmaster Jay's advice. He'll get people killed. Don't. So he's trying to regain all this bad publicity and going to go to Kentucky Derby. I don't watch Kentucky Derby, so I have no idea what's going on. Maybe he'll bring more light to Kentucky Derby and actually help bring horse racing to a public eye and go, oh yeah, that actually kind of looks kind of fun. You can make money there. I'll make a few bucks there, and you might actually help them out. So, bravo, Grandmaster Jay. Bravo, good sir. Anyways, let's go to Portland. Let's see. Approximately 200 rioters illegally blocked traffic, vandalizing the building with graffiti, targeted police officers with lasers, and broke through plywood barricades at the Portland Police Association office in Portland. Oh boy, I need coffee. Officers responding to the scene discovered rioters were attempting to flood the building with water hoses. Rioters chanting "Burn it down" and threatening to do so with their if their demands were not met immediately. Ooh. BLM activists speaking downtown over the weekend were met with cheers of declaring, "We are at war." Sorry, these kids don't know what war is. Plain simple. We're at war. You're at war with yourselves. You fools. Over the weekend, Representative Ayanna Pressley was criticized for saying there needs to be unrest in the streets. As long as there's unrest in our lives. There needs to be unrest in the streets as long as there's unrest in our lives. Some people are restless because they're so pathetic and they don't love themselves. So I don't think they need to go, I don't like myself, I'm unrestful, I'm going to go burn down the street. No, I know what they're talking about, I'm just making fun of them. More recently, she praised the unrest, saying communities from Boston to Portland are rising up to demand accountability and divestment of broken systems. The broken system is the government. They're letting their cities burn and they go, like Minnesota, there's $55 million in damage. Federal government, can you help us out? No. You let it burn down. You figure out how to pay for it. Good luck. Raise taxes. Tax everyone out of your city. Turn it to another, I don't know, Baltimore, Detroit. Yeah. Good job, Democrats. Good job. Speaking of Minnesota, John Thompson, a Democratic candidate for the Minnesota state legislature, led a recent Black Lives Matter protest in front of a suburban home of Minneapolis. Minneapolis Police Federation President Bob Kroll in Hugo, Minnesota. Thompson screamed, "I didn't come here to be peaceful. F Hugo, Minnesota." So a candidate for the Minnesota state legislation just said F Hugo, Minnesota. That's going to be part of your... You have to take care of your people. You can't say F to your people. Man, it's a disease. It's a mental disease. Once you get a mental disease, you just should move to the Democratic side. Because they're full of them. They may have meetings. Called the House of Representatives. Let's say Thompson repeatedly challenged residents to come out of their homes and label Kroll as a grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Thompson also stated that BLM activists are coming for them seats. Coming for them seats. Coming for the money. So, mental illness runs rampant in Democratic side. How can you say, I want to represent these people, but you think you're gonna get any votes out of a city because you just said F the city? Those are your people. You shouldn't be marching. And if you do, you shouldn't say anything. Because you can either bury yourself or bury yourself deep. Anyways, I digress. Shield Wall Nation. I do these reports so I can keep informed and so you can keep informed. So you know what's going on around the world. Some people are sheltered. Some people are. And they don't know what's going on. So I'm just trying to bring a little bit of light. Keep me busy. Keep you guys busy. Keep you guys informed. So when things happen, we're not suddenly slapped across the face and go, I didn't see this happening. We can see things happening now, right? So we should prepare for them. Go and get an extra bag of rice here and there when you go to the store. Even if you're going to the grocery store and you're not planning on getting rice or a little bag of beans or something. Go and spend an extra $1 or $2 on a little bit of extra. I'm not saying spend $200 when you want to go in there and buy like 2 things that were like $5. No. Go and grab an extra bag of rice, an extra bag of beans, or an extra pack of lighters. Little things, and just throw it in your little lighter bucket or your little rice bucket. Just little, pennies add up. So when this does happen, you get slapped across the face and some crazy things are happening, you're like, well, at least I prepared. At least I did this over a past year and I got at least a month's worth supply of food. And I didn't have to do much doing it. But you're prepared, right? So, Shield Wall Nation. Stay strong. Stay resilient. Shield Wall up.